And we've got Heat 3A coming up. Starting lineup, no boats on the course yet. We're still a little over 7.5 minutes away from the start. It'll be a couple of minutes before the boats get out. The U1, oh boy, Alberto, Steve David, believe it or not, in a little bit of a precarious situation to get into the final. He has got to have a great heat in Heat 3A, Paul.
Yeah, and actually none of the boats in this final have won a heat race, so he's got a good shot here, as I guess he does every time he's on the water. U9, John Zimmerman, Miss Visit Tri-Cities.
Great Scott presents Campaign WSU, the 22 boat, Mike Webster, the driver.
And the 88-degree men with J. Michael Kelly.
The 100 boat, Beacon Plumbing, Greg Hopp in his boat. That's a new ride for him. One of Fred Leland's actually older boats, but a new ride for him for this year. Different boat. They switch boats out in that camp. We will be back with Heat 3A, the Plumbers and Steamfitters UA Local 598, Unlimited Heat 3A from the Air National Guard Unlimited Hydroplane Series. You're watching the Lamb Weston Cup on SWX. We have 5 unlimited hydroplanes on the race course and ready to go for the Plumbers and Steamfitters UA Local 598 Unlimited Heat 3A. The Lamb Weston Columbia Cup, part of the Air National Guard Unlimited Hydroplane Series. Boats checking in by crossing the start-finish line at speed. 3 of them have done that already. Greg Hopp just coming out on the racetrack, and you can see him. He is the boat that looks a little more yellow. He's on the outside of the U9 John Zimmerman's boat, the MissVisitTriCities.com. Greg has to come across the start-finish line to check in as well, and once we get that taken care of, it's just a matter of getting to the score-up buoy at 1 minute. And you've seen them crawling all along. And you're watching the 88-degree men crawl up the backstretch. He's right about the midway point of the backstretch right there, J. Michael Kelly. About half a lap around the course on the other side. You'll see a rooster tail come through in just a second, and that would be the U9 MissVisitTriCities.com. Another one coming through, and that'll be Greg Hopp in the Beacon Plumbing, the 100 boat.
And if you're just joining us, the story right now is Steve David right there. You see him in the U1. Oh boy, Alberto, a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes. He finds himself in the unusual position of he's got to win this race even to have a chance to get into the finals.
Yep, and he might need a little help from some of the other guys in Heats 3B and 3C in order to make the final. And that would be very, very odd for the Alberto folks and the Miss Madison team. The Alberto sponsor, the boat is Miss Madison out of Madison, Indiana.
And they are the 3-time defending Columbia Cup champion. Currently
the defending national championship driver and boat team. The U1, that's why they carry the U1 designation. There's J. Michael Kelly in the degree men.
And Mark, I will tell you, Billy and Jane Schumacher, who own the 88-degree, Jane called me a hydro geek, so I guess I have to accept the title.
There you go. You're one of the group now.
Yeah, gosh darn it, I was trying hard to avoid that.
Well, we still have boats all over the race course. I think the boat you're looking at right now, a little hard for us to see. There's Steve David and the Oh Boy Alberto Greg Hopp. I know that's the U9. That's John Zimmerman. They're just coming across the start-finish line.
Last couple of years, that boat, the U9, has only run a couple of races, usually Seattle and Tri-Cities. This year, they added in Detroit, filling in for the U1.
You're looking at J. Michael Kelly just barely moving. He's clearly off plane. Now this may be one area, Paul, where you look at the lower center of gravity, how they've lowered the cockpit in that boat. The other guys at least are a little bit higher, and when the water starts to come up over the front, over the canard, and up over the cockpit, they may have a little more of a sight advantage than he does sitting so low in the boat.
Yeah, I would think so.
Works. We're 27 seconds away. You can see in the upper corner of your clock there, the yellow exit buoy to the Blue Bridge turn is where they cannot be until 1 minute. So they've got a little time to scrub off everybody collecting down in the Blue Bridge turn now. Kelly's going to have the inside. It looks like Steve David wants the lane number 2, and somebody got down so slow they put the fire out, and I think that was John Zimmerman in the number 9 boat. But everybody else now right at 1 minute. I think they were pretty good.
Close.
Pretty good, but close. We'll see, listen to the officials' radio and see how they call that. Steve David, he is just outside of J. Michael Kelly, and there you see Mike coming up on the inside, and they tell us the score-up was legal, was good. So everybody now, as John Zimmerman comes past that buoy, he is scored up as well. He's going to have a quick run up the backstretch to catch everybody else. Mike Kelly leads the field down. Steve David slows down a little bit. You can see Mike Webster on the outside coming up a little faster, along with Greg Hopp. John Zimmerman running very quickly up the backstretch, so they start to spread it out with 17 seconds to go. Heat 3A, 2011 Columbia Cup, J. Michael Kelly. He'll be right tight to the buoy line. In lane number 2 will be Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto. They're going to be a little bit early. They've got 4-3 down to 2-1. Steve David nails the start. Mike Webster right behind him. On the inside of those boats is J. Michael Kelly. Kelly flies the boat, gets it way up out of the water. But the first boat to turn left is going to be Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto. He is in lane number 2. You can see Kelly is going to be right next to him when they come off that turn. There he is, about 6 boat lengths behind as Steve David passes the yellow buoy. The exit to the Blue Bridge turn first, and it's J. Michael Kelly in the 88-degree men second. Close to him, behind him, by about 1 rooster tail, is Mike Webster in the 22 Great Scott Presents Campaign WSU. But everybody is chasing Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto. Quickly all the way up the backstretch into the western turn. Steve David looking for 400 points and some help from some other guys to make it into the final this afternoon. Mike Kelly very close right down the buoy line as Steve David lengthens his lead just a little bit. At the end of lap number 1, preliminary heats 3 times around. When we get to the winner-take-all final, it'll be 5 laps around. Mike Kelly is not going to let him go. He's got plenty of racing room. Mike Webster in 3rd, crossing in 4th is John Zimmerman, and way down at the west end of the race course, Greg Hopp has gone dead in the water. He's barely moving, but right now we've got Steve David in the lead coming off the Blue Bridge turn, followed closely by J. Michael Kelly in the 88-degree men, just about 1 rooster tail behind, and about 2 rooster tails behind him is the Great Scott Presents Campaign WSU. But Steve David now with this race well in hand. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he keeps the engine moving. Greg Hopp is back up on plane at least. We will see him coming by. Rooster Tail will be in front of the camera in just a moment. But right now on lap number 2, Steve David is at the exit of the western turn. He's got 1 more lap to go as he comes down to finish lap number 2. Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto, your leader in Heat 3A. After 2 laps, the white flag flies, and now Mike Kelly has slowed down considerably, and Steve David running away from him. But it's Mike Webster who is going to start catching up with J. Michael Kelly. You want to keep an eye on that race because Webster is now less than a rooster tail behind J. Michael Kelly. Way out in front is Steve David, but there is Webster, and he's catching up to J. Michael Kelly right now as they go to the Blue Bridge turn. Big wall of water. It's hard to see who is exactly where, but Mike Webster is now just about ready to eat into that rooster tail of J. Michael Kelly. Meanwhile, halfway up the backstretch on his white flag 3rd of 3 times around is Steve David, a very more than comfortable lead over J. Michael Kelly in the 88-degree men. Now Steve David is going to come up to some traffic, and we'll see where he decides to go. Greg Hopp gives him some racing room on the inside. Coming around that turn, you see Greg Hopp. He is just finishing his 2nd lap, so he will get the white flag. Steve David comes down right behind him. He's hidden in the rooster tail from our camera angle, but Steve David finishes Heat 3A in 1st place, gets the checkered flag. Now coming around the turn to take 2nd place will be the 88-degree men. That is J. Michael Kelly. A good run for Mike, and another good run for Mike, and that would be Mike Webster in the 22 boat. Great Scott Presents WSU Campaign. He'll take 3rd, 4th place. We'll go to John Zimmerman in the U9 Miss Visit TriCities.com. Greg Hopp up and running. He's halfway up the backstretch right now, so he has half a lap to go to complete his run and finish in 5th place.
I think Steve David just wanted to make the comeback that much more impressive, but he gets the win there.
Yep, and that is a valuable 400 points. We'll see if that will get him into the final.
Yeah, as you said, Mark, he's going to need quite a bit of help in some of the other races.
It's going to be kind of problematic. Here comes Greg Hopp. You see Greg sits higher up than any of the drivers in the other boats. This is a boat that Fred Leland built in 1997, and originally the air intake was in the nose of the boat, and the air flowed underneath the driver, and so the seat had to be much higher. They've changed that because the dustbuster effect did not work at all. The idea, I'm really not sure what the idea was, but when the boat gets up on plane, there's a lot of water that comes over the front of the boat, and they thought maybe, I guess, that would keep the water out. It didn't. The engines were flooded with water, so they went back to the more conventional air intake that you see there.
And with the winds and the dust here in the Tri-Cities, I'm not sure something called the Dust Buster is going to work real well. Speaking of the winds, it picked up for a little bit. It's calmed down again.
Water is still great.
Yeah.
Water is still great. Let's take a look at the unofficial results. We say unofficial again because the boats all have to go through tech at the end of each heat. Oh boy, Oberto in first place. Steve David, a valuable 400 points. Let's see if it gets him into the final. U9, visit tricities.com. John Zimmerman in fourth. Down to the second place boat. That's Degree Men. The 88 Degree Men, J. Michael Kelly, third place. A nice run for Mike Webster. And the Great Scott presents Campaign WSU. John Zimmerman in fourth. And bringing up the rear. Not sure what kind of trouble Greg had out there, but Greg Hopp finishes fifth in the 100 boat, the Beacon Plumbing. So there are your unofficial results.
And in just a moment, we're going to go down to the Tom Denchel Ford pit cam with Patrick Nolan. He is trying to grab the winner, Steve David, as he comes off of the boat and onto the dock.
And we have more racing coming up. We are going to go 3 full heats of elimination here. Heat 3A under the books, and 3B, and then a Heat 3C, and then we'll figure out who is going to be in the final championship heat for the 2011 Lamb Weston Columbia Cup, the Air National Guard Unlimited Hydroplane Series. And don't forget, we've got a lot of noise coming out on the water for the final heat for Grand Prix West Racing Association. Those big blown 468 cubic inch Chevy engines running on fuel injected methanol will be back out here for their championship heat this afternoon as well. So still a lot of racing going on.
And if you're at home looking at the schedule, Heat 3A, which we just ran, Heat 3B at 350, Heat 3C at 420, and the final for the GPs are set for 440, and the final for the Unlimiteds at 510.
Let's go down to the Tom Denchel Ford pit cam, and Patrick has the winning driver. Patrick, go ahead.
I am with the winning driver. Steve, you pick up the 400 points. I know it's been a rough weekend so far, but this has got to feel good.
Well, this boat should have won a lot more heats than that, and I messed up terribly in the 3 heats, and this is not representative of how good the Alberta Miss Madison is, but I think they just saw the possibilities that this boat has. So if we can make the final, we got a great chance of winning our 4th consecutive. If not, congratulations to whoever wins this thing.
Yeah, of course. I know the chances are slim. You need some help, but what happens to happen for you to get that spot?
Unfortunately, bad stuff happened to happen to other boats, and we don't wish that on anybody. We didn't earn our way into the final this time, so if we get in, it's by the grace of God.
So I guess you guys kind of protecting your equipment and getting ready for Seattle, or?
Yeah, if we're not in the final, we'll get it ready for Seattle. We'll come back ready for Bear, and we will defend that win.
Well, and it's been a good run for you here in the Tri-Cities, for sure.
It sure has. I mean, 3 consecutive wins, and we just proved what the boat can do, and it's a shame we didn't get a chance to duke it out with the 96, because I really think we're the only boat here that can take them on.
Yeah, of course. What went right for you in this heat that didn't go well in the other ones?
I had to start with a different starting technique, recognizing the limitations of the boat. I had to adjust to the boat instead of expecting the boat to adjust to me.
All right, thank you. Steve David. All right, thanks, Guy. Here with J. Michael Kelly. How'd that one go for you?
I can't complain too much. Second, first would have been better, but you know, from how our day went yesterday till now, complete turnaround. We're continuing to get better and better. So, you know, I'm pretty happy to, you know, run second place with the Degree Men 88.
And you probably ran into a Steve David who, after his first 2 heats, was pretty eager to get the 400 points for sure.
Oh yeah, no, you could tell he was on a mission, and we tried to run with them. We had a rear wing, it broke on us, so my boat ride kind of went away from me. So it was pretty much everything I could do to just even hold on to second. So, you know, we're going to have to wait and see how the points play out for this final.
The weekend kind of gotten progressively better for you. I know it started a little bit rough, but it seems like things are getting better.
No, definitely getting better. You know, yesterday our top speed was 157 miles an hour. That's about 40 miles an hour off from where you want to be, and we're almost there. We're, instead of being at 70% yesterday, we're probably 85 right now. So brand new boat, can't complain too much. It's just going to get better, and that's all we have to remember.
Yeah, of course. And how are you guys set up for the final?
I think we're good. It's just, you know, we got to see how these next 2 heats play out. You know, 5 and 7 keep on having races like they have. Qatar, you know, everybody's got to be consistent, and you know, right now we have 900 points, so that's pretty good. It should be enough to get us in the final, but you got to see how the rest of the heats play out.
All right, J. Michael Kelly, driver of the number 88 Degree Men. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you.